Hey everybody, this is Robbie, and today I'm bringing back a format that I didn't really have for a while because of the lack of viewership. Behind the scenes! Now this time, with Domino Wars 2023 coming to an end, I figured I'd take you behind the scenes on my Domino Wars entries. Since it seems to coincide and there's no more challenges and all that stuff. So, yeah, if you like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified about my latest videos. If you like this video, hit the like button, comment about what you think of this format again, and be sure to share this video on Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Now, before we get started, some context. This is my round 2 entry, because when I discovered round 1, because fun fact, the host this time was a channel called Jude's Dominoes, which, as you can see here, is pretty underrated. You should probably go subscribe to their channel. Again, they are underrated. But I discovered round 1 right around the time, near the end of the first challenge in terms of that deadline. So I didn't really have enough time, and everything was really busy at that point in time, so I couldn't get an entry in. And so there's that. But despite it... But despite everything, I still would give it my all for this. The multi-use domino screen link. Now this one, ain't Canavin. This was where we had to use multi-use tricks, and I didn't really properly know what those were. Or at the time. I figured it was something along the lines of, oh, just use an object multiple times, or do something along the lines of other stuff multiple times. So this was the result. Also, before we move on, most of my entries are really short. They're not even a minute long because it's because of the tighter deadlines, I think, and also just and also I think I got pretty ambitious with my entries too. So there's also that happening as well. So yeah, most of my entries are just half a minute long. I guess, I'm pretty sure I just went for, short and sweet with my entries this time. So, it's short, but it leaves an impact with how cool the tricks are, I guess. And in terms of that, yeah, I'm really proud of, most of these entries. I'm really proud of all that. So, anywho. Yeah, that's a 3D printed object, by the way. So yeah, this is what it consists of, oh, I use the Sonamod thing and then knock over a domino. Or I use this thing as a bridge and then knock over the thing as a bridge to move on to the next thing. Fun fact, this is... remember, if you watched my Domino Wars 2022 behind the scenes video, I think I said that there was a cut trick that I used which was similar to this one, where... So just think, in terms of, the domino that was pushed over, but then replace these dominoes here with that same, trick thing, where it's, extended. What the consistent thing that kept happening in terms of, setting them up both times was that I'd push the domino over, it'd be far, and then when those, things happen, and that, the domino that was pushed would be, too far to the left, or something else would happen, and so it wouldn't work. So the compromise I came up with was I just have that domino pushed on the first time, so that way the domino hits and it actually works. So this is the result. And this was really, really pretty ambitious. And I'm surprised that this actually worked on the first try. And this is a trick that I used, the whole domino tower off a bridge to move on to other stuff thing. So, yeah, this is a pretty short entry, but I'm pretty proud of it. And the next Domino Wars entry is a little weird. I even said this was a bit confusing in terms of that. I'm gonna actually play the video itself as what it said in terms of that. So the challenge is, you know, make the best domino setup you can focus on with symmetry with unpredictable sounds. And by this, make a domino setup and try to add sounds that are unpredictable or random and make that the focus of the setup. And I don't know. Maybe I was confused. I was pretty confused. It was with this. I didn't really know what it meant, and this kind of helped. A little bit? Maybe? I was still confused, but I don't know. Maybe this... I don't know. Maybe it's because this was like a really unique challenge in general, or maybe it was... Or maybe it wasn't explained well enough. Maybe? I'm not really sure, but I was confused, and so this video was... So this like 10-second video was the result. I just got together a bunch of dominoes in a little field with a bunch of foreign random objects and just knocked them all over to the ground to produce the sound of sounds. And this was the result, and I completely underestimated just how far one of those like bridge field H5 domino creations things, and that's a head massager, by the way, and that could like go towards so. But it still worked, so I kind of run on a little philosophy of like, hey, if it works, it works. Like there's a setup at Domino Rally 11 that kind of like didn't work as intended, but it still worked, so I kept it in. And this is another example of, I mean, it worked, so... And then I tried to put the dominoes on other stuff to try and emulate that. I'm still really proud of this, but I don't know. But this challenge, oh my god, this challenge, whoa. Now I'm just gonna. Now, this is a story. So the whole thing is that, you know, I could have settled for stuff like, oh, this was like 35 inches, but I'm also gonna play the video for this one too because that video set the precedent for the entire thing. This height, this record was 40 inches, which is a good record, but also just this was a speedrun thing too. So the timer was like, I think 2 minutes? Yeah, 2 minutes. It was 2 minutes. So the whole thing had, so, more context. I wasn't mentioned in the other challenge videos in terms of results as an honorable mention, and that kind of, I don't want to say stung, but it kind of got to me a bit, because I thought, oh, my multi-use screen link was really cool, which it is, but, you know, compared to, like, other entries, I don't know. He's like, that week 3 challenge was confusing, which it kind of was, but other people managed to adapt to it better, looking back. But anyway, so I just thought that if I could do this well enough, if I could, then I could get into the top 5. I just wanted to be in the top 5, and I was kind of desperate, so the height was 40 inches, and so my mind was like, if I could just beat that height of 40 inches, that's a guaranteed spot in the top 5. I was wrong, but I honestly don't care at this point, because 41 is, like, I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that, especially in terms of, like, building it in a time span of 2 minutes. And there were so... Now, and so then there's this context. This is, so the base of this is 3 inches. Now, looking back, I could have just measured it like, okay, say it's like, so this is the measuring tape. I could have measured it like this, but I don't know, I just didn't really, I was just desperate. So I just did this whole thing here.
Alright, context before the entry begins. I have lined up the base and lined up dominoes to match it. So now I'm going to measure it with the tape measure.
You don't get to see me measure. Oh, no, never mind. You do. I thought...
When I measure like this, and then pull it up, I'll be adding the base, which again is 3 inches, to the total measurement.
I just felt this... Now, you know, the video was probably enough to clarify, but nope, I also needed to clarify in the description. Because I was, like, really afraid that it would, like, be seen as, like, hey, that's cheating! Like, you're cheating! That wasn't the result! So I just needed to feel... And then maybe be disqualified, or my entry wouldn't count, or... I don't know, something that get me kicked out, or something along those lines. I don't know. But the whole thing... Also, I find it funny. 41 views with 41 inches. That's fun. That's fun. But also, I just really felt the need to clarify. But anyway, let's actually watch the video itself. Actually, no, we can't, because my setup was... I record on my phone, which is great when, like, holding the camera in terms of, like, domino setups, where it's like, oh, I hold the camera, and I knock over the setup, like, with my foot, so that I can hold the camera with both hands and keep it steady during screen links and stuff, but that's not really good when I'm supposed to be speedrun building a domino tower. So I put it on, like, I think I put it on, like, one of those, like, phone tablet stands things, and did that, like, I put it on one of those stand things and made it, like, and just, like, tilted it so that it was, like, kind of up a bit, or just, no, the whole thing was about height, so I tilted it so that it was up. So, which has the consequence of, like, you just don't see anything until around here when I keep building up. Also, hi, that's me, yay! With headphones on, because I was, like, listening to music to, like, I guess, hype myself up. Battle Rock Galaxy, I kept listening to that. That was, like, the theme of, like, motivation, by the way. It's a really good theme. Those are, like, Bluetooth headphones, too. I think I say...
2 minutes, starting now.
Yeah, I used an Amazon Echo. I used an Amazon Echo to set a timer for 2 minutes. So, because I didn't want to set one on the computer, because that was easier. So, and that's the whole building thing here. I think you'll start to hear me say stuff. Or not. I don't know, maybe the sound was weird, but...
Okay, stable. Come on.
Yep, there we go! There's me! Yep, there we go! Another fun fact, this final attempt, was after dozens of other failed ones, and also, not just because the tower would, like, knock down because, you know, it wasn't stable enough, but also because I build it up, I measure it, and then it wouldn't be taller than 40 minutes, so I just scrap it and try again. And this whole and, you know, the tower would fall over many times. And then if I do build up the tower, oh, that's not 40 inches, try again. And it just got extremely frustrating. It was just such a big trial and error thing. And so I eventually just developed a strategy. I look at the timer, like, on my phone as, like, a basis. And so for the first, like, minute, I build the horizontal tower. Then, as you see here, I build up a bit with the, like, 1, 2, top thing there, and build up like that. Which was always... And then either... I think we see the whole tower. No, we don't. Maybe we do. I don't know. We can see the final... Can we see the final thing? Nope, we can't. I don't know why I didn't... Oh, no, I do.
This is the tower.
Yep, it was just like... And then build up and up and up and up as a final stretch. And And I was frantic. I just feared that the tower would, like, just fall down at, like, literally any second and ruin the whole thing.
Yes! Yes! 39? No, come on.
I should have just went with 39. I don't know. I think I was paranoid. Or just not... this was a triumph. So, this whole thing was a big case of trial and error. All just to get above 40 inches so that I'd get into the top 5 for once. And was it worth it? I mean, I'm really proud of myself for doing this. Building a 41-inch tall domino tower in like 2 minutes, video title drop. But like, I'm really proud of that accomplishment. But in terms of the frustration, all to get into the top 5, and then I'm not in the top 5 because a bunch of other people have already built up like higher than me. No, it wasn't worth it in that regard. But at the very least, it's a good accomplishment. So there we go. Anyway, the next challenge was decidedly not as frustrating. Build a domino thing where it's like you combine the dominoes and machine stuff. I don't have machine stuff. I just have Marble Run stuff, and I hoped that that was close enough. I think it got an honorable mention or something. I don't know. Nope, there's no playlist of round 5 entries. It's a little weird that it's like playlists for like some of the rounds, but not all of them. But you know, I'm not gonna complain. But this was the big setup. That beginning part just kind of kept failing a lot. I don't know why. Probably I used a Domino Rally staircase thing, so it's probably that. This is also another setup that surprisingly worked the first time. And I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of this setup. It was also like really hard to it was also kind of hard to position everything correctly to make sure that it all go down, so. So I also thought I should make the domino part also pretty memorable, you know? Don't know if that counted as machinery or not, probably not, but. And then the setup with that. Now this is an interesting, like, little story thing. This is an extra. This is a bonus setup. And the reasoning why is in the community post, because that is where the challenge, or the extra little challenge, was actually posted. Yep, this is an opportunity for, like, extra credit. Create the best domino structure that's very random. Now, should this have been probably, like, a different challenge? Like, or maybe, like, a... I don't know, like... Should this have maybe been its own video? In terms of, like, announcing this so that more people would see it? Maybe. Maybe, but, you know... At least it still existed, and I think enough people saw it, so, again, you do you, but anyway... So, yeah, there weren't really any results posted in terms of that either, though. So, anyway, I still did it. Even when I wasn't earning points. And everything kept getting delayed. But, you know, it's all good. I think the whole thing just kind of went wild, but hey... It wouldn't be a random domino setup without a little chaos, so it's you know, again, if it works, you know? It's pretty big too, you know? But then the actual next challenge is basically H5 domino community's, like, 28 dominoes thing, but add 20 more. Add 22 more. Sorry. Which is why this is, like, super short. I think I did an okay job with it. Not much fun fact stuff with this one. With this one, I'm pretty sure that most of the rest of these are just screen links, so... Again, this was another thing that I was, like, kind of confused by, but I think this time I got it, like, pretty right. You know, just balancing dominoes on top of stuff. I used the bridges stuff to balance on top of a bunch of blocks constantly. And this is another really short one, by the way, so... With no music! Don't know how that stayed up, right? Now, you may be... Now, yeah, the... Now, I think I was expecting this to kind of like, oh, that falls, and... But it didn't. And I have a little thing where it's like, oh, there's a part of the setup that's a little bit still standing. Instead of just knocking it down outright and scrapping it, I'll use that still remaining part in a new setup in order to knock it down. I don't know. I think I know. No, I know why. Because then that just mean that, oh, let's just knock down the domino that's still standing. That'd just be wasted. So, yeah, hence I reuse. So, I reused this. Yeah, it's the same, like, knock down dominoes and stuff up on the same platform in a new trick. So I just reused this, and I think it came out well. Oh, we're still not done yet, because then that also stayed up, so I thought that that would also work if I just put it down a little bit, hence this. And then this was like the first time, like, and then this was like the first time when a setup in a screen link was like bigger than like the camera could have in a field of view. And if I zoomed out the camera, then it just showed like the domino line that like exits the screen. It just showed the end of that, and I'd have to blur it out, and the phone editor isn't good at doing that, so. But that was like a really close like cutoff in terms of that. I'm pretty sure like a little bit, like, under a second of a cutoff in terms of, like, that ending there. Oh, the PJ shots! Those don't happen a lot. And as much anymore, so... And yeah, that was also really short. I think that... But anyway, Domino City is next. This is a pretty nice city. The only one that, like... Nope, don't. I think it was a little salty. In terms of, like, at this point, because I just had to emphasize, it's even got a road! Because I was thinking, yeah, none of the other Domino cities are gonna have a road. This'll be an advantage for sure. I think I was getting salty in terms of, like, the constant, like, setups not getting in the top 5. Especially considering the, like, especially considering the effort I put into the setup, so... You know, but for all the effort that I put in, another person probably put in, like, a lot more, so I shouldn't really be too mad. And anyway, it's still fun, and also, anyway, it's still fun, and I got to, like, grow my domino building as a whole, so that's all that matters, right? Hey, look, a little view of the city. Don't know what it'd be like if this was a real city, but, you know, I'm pretty sure everyone would be dead. Oof. You know, I don't really have a lot of luck with those pyramids. It's like I knock it down and then it's like, up the most of, like, 75% of it will fall down. And it's rarely 100% of it falling down. And what was supposed to happen in terms of that was the dominoes would spread and knock over that. But it didn't, so I knocked over that with just throwing the stuff. And then this was resilient. This wasn't. And yeah, that was my domino city with a big pile of dominoes at the end. Up next are the, like, final... And up next is, like, challenge number 9. I don't know why I said, like, round 3 entry in the description, because that is wrong, but... Yes. Now then, this is another case of, like, reused domino stuff in screen links. Now this I thought that that would get, like, knocked down, but it didn't. And so I just had the idea of, like, putting the color stuff in there. Rainbow was Rainbow was the theme I went with this one, but, you know, because, oh, I don't have any purple dominoes in terms of, like, I don't have any purple dominoes in terms of, like, bulk dominoes. I have purple wooden dominoes, but it wouldn't really fit well, so dark blue was the substitute for that. And over time, I kind of settled into, like, a colored scheme for the end lines and start lines. But we'll get to that. And so I just kept this one up, added a new one to complement it, and then added all that. And there you go. Oh, fun fact about this one, these orange dominoes are... Okay, I'm gonna get the thing, be right back. It's like, not be right back, just... So those orange dominoes were white H5 domino creation dominoes colored in with orange marker. That's what I had to do because I have very few orange dominoes. So, and the line was longer than the amount of orange dominoes I had. So I just like used the marker and scribbled on the dominoes like a bit and hoped no one would notice. I don't know if anyone did notice or or not, and if they did, then they just didn't comment on it. It wasn't that big of a fear, but because these dominoes are like far away, so I thought that would like hide it a bit, too. But it wasn't. I didn't have to do like much in terms of that, so yeah, that's that. This bridge thing also didn't really work one of the times. Like, it kind of did, but it didn't get all the dominoes. Oh, lines. Sometimes these, like, little field domino stuffs are a bit hit and miss, so. Also there's the colors. I guess cyan and then dark green, because I wasn't using either of those in the, like, line setup stuff, so I just didn't. So I just kind of thought I'd use those since I wasn't using them. Not a lot of like fun facts for that. Oh, except this one. So basically, I think what I do differently. So what I did was that I had the idea of like, oh, the red, yellow, orange, and yellow would be the other lines, and then the like green and then blue and then dark blue would be the other lines. What I really should have done was just have the green be there and then the blue be there and then the dark blue be there, basically. But that wasn't what happened, and I didn't want to redo this, so this was the result. It's still pretty good. Alright, and also I didn't think this would work, but I mean, I don't know why, but it did. So so that led to this little squiggly line. I am very proud of this one, by the way. It was also supposed to be like a diamond thing where it'd be like, oh, the orange leads into the red leads into orange, vice versa for all the other colors, but I didn't have enough of the, but like I said, but, you know, for the same reason why I drew the orange on the white H5 domino creation domino stuffs, is the same reason why I didn't do the diamond thing, because I didn't have enough orange dominoes. I think I need to get more of those. But I did do a little mini version in another clip, so maybe that was for the better. So, again, my mindset here was, well, I mean, this partially worked, so... I'm pretty proud of that one. I keep saying that. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm really proud of, like, all the entries I've made here, even if they didn't get, like, the top 5, or any honorable mentions, or ends at all. I'm still proud of these entries, and I think I've really improved as a domino builder from the, like, days back in, like, my older home in 2020, or from when I was still a kid. So, you know, there's also, so, you know, this could just be like, this could be an evidence of like my growth as a domino builder as a whole. But anyway, the final challenge was and this was the Domino Wars screen link. Nope, I don't want to go back. This was it. So this was the build whatever you want challenge, and so I did a screen link. I thought the screen link would be like much longer, because I thought in my head I'd base it off of challenges from like I said, I based it off the challenges of 2020 for inspiration. What I did, and I didn't check the 2020 challenges before coming up with the idea, so I went to the 2020 challenges, and most of them were repetitive. And most of them were either repetitive or impossible to actually build within the context of a screen link, and I'm gonna go through those for you in terms of that. Oh, nope, most of them were spoken. Whoops. So, never mind. I do remember them, though. Like, this was build a big, like, 6x6 pyramid thing. And I kind of did, and I think I did it wrong, because most of it was just, like, diagonal 6 pyramid stuff, so I just added a bunch of random dominoes in between in order to hopefully salvage something from that, and it kind of worked. But it was too long to actually. But you know, I don't know where domino falling sound effects are from. I should probably get my hands on that, because I had to cut that like little thing short. I couldn't even like throw a dominoes at it like I usually did to knock the rest of it over, because you know this is a screen link. And so you know the second challenge was in terms of Domino Wars 20 was to like build a like 2x2 like horizontal domino tower, as tall as you can in a time span of a few minutes or something. And this was the third attempt. Evidence of that can be seen here, because like this part is like indented a bit from prior attempts. So yeah, I guess you know what they say, third time's the charm. And that was like that was a height of 20. That's going to be important later. Anyway, this next setup, I don't remember what the challenge was, but we're going in rounds. So round 1, 2, 3. So let's, I guess, hear what the round 3 one is. Best domino setup with 300 dominoes or less. I'm pretty sure that this is that. The challenge 4 was... Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Best domino trick. And so I figured I'd bring back a classic from the Domino Wars 2022 era. The balancing, vertical thing. I don't know what it was. The balanced tower. Or the balanced thing. I don't know. The balanced something. And a two-field thing, which I had to rebuild again because there was a prior thing that technically worked, but... you know, one would fall down, the other wouldn't, and so I had to rebuild it. And again, you know my thing, the reused thing, but you may be thinking, oh, a lot was there. Why wouldn't you reuse all of it? Well, you know, during the cleanup process, when transitioning to building that, I had to clean it up. Oh, a bunch of stuff would fall over, and I wasn't even sure if like the format of like this would work, so I tested it. And that also did a bunch of stuff, and this is all that's left. Don't even know if this is like part of a challenge or not. But this one was a build something in like 20, in like a few dominoes or less. I don't know. I'll check again in terms of challenges. Oh, this is one of, oh, nope, this is one of the ones that was actually impossible to do. And because I wasn't about to get a bunch of domino builders together to collaborate on one specific clip in Domino Wars. Like, that'd be weird. Especially in a competition environment like that. So, you know, like, I don't know, like, hey, people, please help me out with my entry. Even though this is, like, based on my building merits, and it's supposed to be based on, like, my building merits in terms of that. I don't know. Fastest time to set up 100 dominoes. This was, I guess that? I don't know. But then the 7th challenge is the best use of a foreign object. So that is a Mario movie question mark block thing that open up and reveal at the teeniest, tiniest little Mario figure you could ever see. It's like so small, guys. I'd show it to you if I had it, but I couldn't find it. But I can't really find it. Oh, nope, I do have it. Nope, never mind. I can show you. So this is the minifigure. It's super small. Like there you go. You can't even like really like you kind of see it, but it's just a blip of like dotted color. So of course I didn't use that. So I used the box that he came in as like a split field thing, and it worked well. By the way, I think the toy is like made lazily. I think it was like from a fast food restaurant. I don't know. Like, I think challenge 8 was the best type of structure. So this is what I came up with for that. The 9th challenge that I based the setups off was the best multi-use trick, which I had a ton of in this screen link, but I wanted to, like, again, use my own, so this is what I came up with, and again, I'm pretty... and this is the challenge, so you want to know what... So, the week 10 challenge, and I'll have them tell you, because it's not in the
This week's challenge
description.
is the 3rd speed build of Domino Wars. On this one, it will be the fastest to build a 20-layer 1x1 tower.
You hear that? I'll give it to you again.
On this one, it will be the fastest to build a 20-layer 1x1 tower.
A 20-layer 1x1 tower, which I had already built in this clip. But this clip was the the week 3 entry. Oh, no, the week 2 entry. Which was the tallest 1x1 tower, which I didn't want to have like too tall, so I simplified that into a 20-layered 1x1 domino tower to build. So what essentially I ended up doing was just building two 10-layered 1x1 towers, because you could technically combine the two into a 20-layered 1x1 thing as, I guess, a joke or something. I don't know. Not a joke, just like a thing where it's like, I mean, that's technicality. And yeah, you'd think there'd be more based on that, but this challenge, but week 11's challenge was a builder challenge, which I didn't know how to do. It was already if I found a little hard enough to like record and knock over for a screen link. But then it's like I have to record, and I record on my phone, so I have to hold my phone while building, and I didn't want it to be like wavy, so you couldn't like see anything which would defeat the whole purpose of the building challenge in general, so I scrapped that. Then, week 12 was another speed build challenge with a pyramid, which I think is at the end, so I did manage to do that. Week 13 was yet another speed building challenge. And yeah, Domino Wars 2020 had like a lot of these. And it was the tallest one domino stack thing, which is what this setup is for. And I was going to have that be like 5 like dominoes taller, like 4, but then that'd be too unstable, so this is what we get. And it got so bad, and then like and then challenge 14 was this.
This week's challenge is to do the best 3-part screen link.
The best 3-part screen link, and And I didn't build that because I thought, I don't know, screen link was kind of getting long enough already, and it was like, and I was building that like the day before the deadline, which also got extended, Yeah, this was at a point in time when the Domino Wars 2023 deadlines were getting extended, and the results videos were taking a while, which is why Domino Wars 2023 bled into 2024. So you could technically call this 2023/2024 Domino Wars, but I'm getting ahead of myself, so I couldn't do that. And in the final challenge was this.
Set up with 1,500 dominoes or less. It is the last challenge of Domino Wars, and as a finale, I've decided to do the best setup with 1,500 dominoes or less.
I don't think I even have 1,000 dominoes. So I couldn't do that because I'd probably already been doing that the entire screen link, as well as the fact that another challenge was build a whole bunch of dominoes and like 100 dominoes or less stuff. But I wanted the screen link to still be a little longer, so with nowhere else to pull from, I pulled from Domino Wars 2021. Which was a Domino Wars that I was in previously, but abandoned in week 2.
The deadline the following Saturday,
So I tried to find challenges here.
someone's entry who was entered just pretty soon.
The first challenge was the pyramid connecting challenge, which I don't know why I didn't do that looking back on it. Maybe it was like too complicated to do, and like it was like such a high chance that it wouldn't work that I didn't really want to risk it, so I didn't do that. The week 2 challenge was, again, was the stack a whole bunch of dominoes on one domino challenge thing, and I tried to do that a little bit, but it was a bit too unstable, and I didn't really want to risk all that. Week 3...
Use 100 different tricks that involve balls.
What?
This week's challenge is to do the best setup using different tricks that involve balls.
This was essentially a repeat, and this was essentially like a thing where it's like, machinery usage. Yeah, you use machines. I could probably do something with that looking back on it, but I didn't do that because I thought, oh, this requires machines, and I don't have machines, and we kind of did something similar in Domino Wars 2023, so that was scrapped. Week 4... was another speed building challenge.
The challenge is the best domino setup in 20 minutes or less.
It was another speed building challenge that was kind of basically Hevish 5's, like, build a domino setup in 30 minutes and its thing, but 20 minutes instead. But that challenge wasn't happening at the time, so you didn't steal the idea. I'm sorry, I don't know what I was even saying, but that was another speed building thing, which to me in a screen link formula would basically amount to just build whatever, and I wanted to keep it themed to challenges, so that was scrapped. I pulled from week 5, which was essentially...
Domino. It will be horizontal.
You know the vertical stacking domino thing that was in 2020? Let's do it horizontally this time, which makes sense, you know, change up the formula and stuff while still keeping with the old stuff. So that was here, and then week 12 was there. We're still not done, though. I kept looking through all of these. I wanted to try and find at least, like, other things or a bunch of stuff to, like, pull from, because I really wanted the screen link to be longer than it was. So I kept looking.
Since you took first place, we will take the 10, divide it in half.
Week 6.
Set up using only foreign objects.
Couldn't be done because the couldn't be done because the dominoes that would like go into the screen link itself would have to show up, and that would negate the whole point of the friggin' foreign object setup, so I couldn't do that. Week 7.
That you cannot build anything outside of the area.
Could probably have done that in terms of that, like, space out the square and stuff, but I just kind of thought, oh, this is a screen link format, therefore it already break the rules of the challenge. Ergo, move on to week 8 and see if I could pull from that, and the challenge of week 8 was...
The two main things you will be judged on is this week's challenge for Domino Wars is the best setup with a unique theme.
Ooh. And I was a little confused, so I kept watching.
The two main things you will be judged on is how unique the theme is and how well you pulled it off.
So, based on a unique theme...
For example, if your theme wasn't very unique, like just a standard domino setup, it would not receive a very good placement.
So I think I basically interpreted that as, you need to use a lot of foreign objects in this setup. I don't know, I probably could have done a good theme looking back. Maybe I could have done the balance thing again. And or something, but I just wanted to parse from stuff. And I was running out of time because I was running out of time, so I couldn't do that. Also, at the time, I couldn't really think of a good, unique theme anyway, so week 9 was next.
This challenge is the best free-part screen link.
So that was literally just a challenge they already used in Domino Wars 2020. But this time, it's in 2021. Or maybe there was something different.
The only rules are that there is a limit of 300 dominoes on the first 2 clips and 500 dominoes on the finale clip.
Ah, so there was like a limit this time in terms of like how many dominoes you could use. I just saw it as the same 3-part screen link, so I can't really do that because I don't really want to do 3-part stuff. So finally, I moved on to week 10, which was the exact same challenge as the grand finale of Domino Wars 2020. Which I understand, you know, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. But again, that was literally just again, I don't have 1,000 dominoes, so I'd already aced that challenge in the hole anyway. So, by that point, I was, like, out of ideas in terms of, like, challenges to parse from, so I thought I could... For a second, I thought I'd parse through, like, Domino Wars 2022, but I'd already built entries for 2022, so it'd feel weird to just, like, build them again. So, yeah, that was the long story of why this screen link is as short as it is in terms of the finale of Domino Wars 2023. Whew! And looking back, oh god, I'm sorry if anything I said, like, came off as hostile towards the, like, old Domino Wars, like, 2020, 2021 people, because, like, because it was, like, it was fun to, like, build, like, domino setups based on those challenges, because it was, like, new. It gave me kind of a chance to, like, see what it'd be like if I actually participated in those challenges anyway. So, you know... Basically, that whole process that I just described to you essentially scrapped, like, this screen link being longer. It meant the screen link was shorter, and also meant that if I wanted to do a sequel, like, say, to Domino Level Up in the future, which I tried to do, but Level Up was basically Domino Wars, but much harder, so I could pull from very little, if any, of the challenges from Level Up to make a screen link out of that, which also led to the creation of Random Domino Screen Link number 1. But yeah. even through all that, even through the frustration of, like, the 41-inch tall domino tower, the confusion of, like, the cacophony of domino sounds thing, and the constant delays in terms of results and deadline extensions, this was still pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with this, and I can't wait for Domino Wars 2024, if that is, like, happening. I hope it's happening. It probably will be happening, but I don't know. I'll probably keep a bigger eye out, like, next time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time for something else. Bye-bye!